Now that right there is a cool looking poster and a fantastic way to promote this film, especially considering that up until this point, everything we've heard about Captain America Brave New World has been very worrying. The massive amount of reshoots, the terrible test audience scores, everything about this has just not sounded great. But then today we got this teaser trailer, and I think it's changed pretty much everybody's mind because this looks fantastic. And again, this poster right here looks fantastic as well. It's so simple but so cool looking. And actually very reminiscent of some of the crew merch we've seen because obviously when they wrap a film, specifically with Marvel Studios, they usually have a hat or a jacket or something that has a cool little logo on it, and we usually get to see pictures of that ahead of time. And it gives us first looks at things like we talked about recently with the stunt team jacket for Venom 3. That the number 3 was in green, so we were talking about Lasher being there. And originally we did end up seeing, I think it was a hat with the Captain America shield with Red Hulk's hand around it, and that was one of our first confirmations that yes, Red Hulk is the villain of this movie. And so now here we have our official teaser trailer, which again looks great. This looks very Winter Soldier, and it does look very much like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but as a movie. Like, it definitely looks like an upgrade this time around, so I'm really excited about that. The story looks intriguing as well. It's just really, really interesting and gets me way more hyped for this film than I ever was before. So let's go and break this down. Obviously, we start off, we got a new Captain America in town. We got Sam Wilson, which I'll still say I'm not a fan of his new Captain America suit for this film because putting him in the blue suit, it just makes him look like Steve Rogers, and the whole point is that he's not Steve Rogers, and they even say that in this trailer. So I definitely prefer his white suit. It's also more comics accurate, but whatever. So we got a new Captain America, and we also have a new Thunderbolt Ross, and I love how they make a joke about this at the beginning of the trailer. Very reminiscent of Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2, when he was like, yeah, I'm here, get used to it, when they did, obviously, the recast from Terrence Howard, because this is a recast as well. Obviously, we had William Hurt in the role as well, and then he passed away, so now we have Harrison Ford in the role, and he says, yeah, I look different. It was either lose the mustache or lose the election. So he is now president of the United States in the MCU, which is not good news for most of us, but interestingly, in this trailer, he presents this offer to Sam Wilson, and he basically says, like, hey, taking it back to Civil War, I'm thinking about making Captain America a government managed hero again, and I want to offer that to you. But obviously, Sam Wilson, he was on Steve Rogers' side in Civil War, so he's not a big fan of this idea. And then we also have our first look here at Sabra, aka Ruth. Now, Sabra has been one of the focal points of controversy with this film because of real world events that are going on currently. I'm not going to go into depth on it here, but you can Google it for yourself. But she's still in the movie. A lot of people wanted her to be cut, but that's not going to be the case. We also have our first look at Giancarlo Esposito in this film as well. Obviously, recently he just joined this film. They did some reshoots, and he just joined the movie during those reshoots. So it's really interesting that he's featured so heavily in this trailer. And for the longest time, it's been speculated who could Giancarlo Esposito play in the MCU. It's been like Professor X and Doctor Doom, like all these big characters. And then we got these first looks at him in this film, and everybody was so confused. Who the hell is he playing? Well, according to Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, he's playing George Washington Bridge. which is a character in the comics. There's not really anything special about him. I mean, he was like a former SHIELD agent, gone rogue, really good with weapons and all that stuff, so yeah, I mean, feels like kind of a waste to cast Giancarlo Esposito in such a role like that, but supposedly it's going to be a multi-project spanning role, so we'll see. But yeah, so there's some disagreements going on here between President Ross and Sam Wilson. But Ross, he's got that evil bad guy look going on here, that's for sure. And this I love right here. It's some sort of press conference, it seems. And we have Sam Wilson, we have Joaquin Torres, which is great to see him back. He's obviously the new Falcon in this film. And we also have Isaiah Bradley as well, one of my favorite characters introduced in The Falcon Winter Soldier. So I'm excited to see him appear again, this time on the big screen. And I don't know what goes wrong, what happens, but he's apparently not too happy because he starts punching people, grabs a gun, and starts shooting someone. I don't know what's happening. Obviously, Isaiah Bradley, he's a very he's a cranky old man. And deservedly so with the stuff that he went through. But I don't, I don't think he would willingly kill people. So clearly something else is going on here. Clearly he had to be provoked by something in particular. This right here, like I said, I much prefer his white suit. So seeing that here, even if it's probably just gonna be for flashbacks, but hey, I will take it. The little we can get of it. This right here, I'm interested to see who is this character on the phone with the hat. It does kind of look like it could be Giancarlo Esposito. That's a possibility. But could this also maybe be the leader? Because obviously we know Tim Blake Nelson is returning as Samuel Stearns, aka the leader in this film. And yeah, you can't really tell from the back, but I mean, this character does look kind of green, so that's a possibility. This shot right here, I think, though, is definitely the leader. You only see the hand, but that hand seems to be very clearly green. So that's very cool. I'm really excited to see, hopefully, a good comics-accurate take on the leader in the MCU, and hopefully he goes on to be in other projects as well down the line. There's some more Giancarlo Esposito as George Washington Bridge, which, again, it's a character from the comics, but that name just sounds so stupid. Yeah, more Harrison Ford. He seems like a great addition to this. Captain America. Again, not loving the new suit, but it's all right. More Giancarlo Esposito. And then this is when Sam says, yeah, I'm not Steve Rogers. So then his wings come out, Red Wing comes in, so that's all great, and then we get a great shot of him flying around alongside his Falcon, Joaquin Torres. And interestingly, first of all, as you can see from the top image right there, Captain America is going to have a helmet as well, which makes sense. If Sam Wilson's going to be flying around, this whole time in the MCU, he's just had goggles. Like, dude, bro's going to catch, flies in his mouth and all that stuff and his teeth. You got to have some more head protection there. So it makes sense he'll have a helmet when he's flying. So that's pretty cool. But also we have our first look here at the return of Tiamat. Of course, the big celestial from the Eternals movie that was basically imprisoned in this statue-like form on Earth. And people have been asking for years, when is this ever going to be addressed? And it's one of those things where I feel like it's a little unnecessarily complained about. Because yes, that was 3 years ago when that movie happened, and since this has been a thing. But to be fair, a lot of the projects we've gotten since then have either been on a smaller scale, had nothing to do with Earth, or just took place before Eternals, because the whole timeline with the MCU is very all over the place. But now we're finally caught up, and in this film, Tiamat's going to play a very big role, because there's some sort of mineral and material that's going to be found that can be mined off of Tiamat. I don't remember if it's a vibranium type thing or possibly maybe even adamantium. I believe that's where we were going with this, was the adamantium thing, which would be interesting. Obviously, that would be cool to set up for Wolverine eventually, our MCU version of that, not played by Hugh Jackman. But then also the fact that originally in the comics, Captain America's shield was made of adamantium. So maybe we'll get an adamantium shield at some point here as well. And then we end off this trailer with a little bit of a tease of Red Hulk, and this looks absolutely fantastic. I love this shot right here. Yeah, he looks great. This is a great look at the Red Hulk. Just this shot alone is probably my favorite shot of the trailer. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this official teaser trailer for Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World? Does this shut down your concerns? Are you now hyped for this film? Or are you still a little worried about it? Do you still have concerns? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.